Hi Aquarius, welcome to your Phoenix Rising reading for the Mercury Retrograde in Scorpio from October 31st to November 20th. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below, as well as the recommend a reader shout out, which goes to Water Star Vibes. Love and support to her. Check her out, show her some love, and support yourself if you like what she has to say. This is intended to be a romantic love reading, but it may resonate in other areas of your life. All right, so we're gonna see what is for you to let go of, so you can make room for something else. We're gonna see what that is. All right, Aquarius, what do we got? Aquarius. Justice, that could be Libra. All right. Four of Swords, Eight of Swords, oh boy. Temperance, that could be Sagittarius. Five of Wands, King of Swords, that could be Gemini, and Three of Swords. All right, so you are doing just fine, right? For all intents and purposes, your life is up and running. But there's some sadness and disappointment that you need to work through. This is, for all intents and purposes, your life is firing on all cylinders, but there's a void, there's a sadness. That's like something that needs to be worked through or gotten over so that you can get better command in your life. So that you basically... It's like you've been dealing with something very privately and you need to be able to grieve it and get it out and talk about it so that you can decide what you're going to do about it. For some of you, this might be a health issue. Got swords all over the place here. What's this Four of Swords about? But there's some sadness involved over what? There's something, Aquarius, you've been dealing with very privately. What's this Four of Swords about? Whoopsie. Star card, that's Aquarius. Are we talking about health here? There might be a health issue that you need to address. Because this feels like, okay, you're up and running. Like you're firing on all cylinders. Your life is good. There's nothing you need or want for. You're able to take care of yourself. You're not, but there's something that's got you bothered that you're not addressing. You're trying to handle it privately and it's not getting the job done here. What's this Eight of Swords? Okay, you need to not... Stop it. Stop it. We've got you removed and sequestered. Why? Why are you, like, withdrawing? What's this Temperance about? The Devil. All right, you need to get vertical on something. This is about... This is your life as a whole, fine. But there's some issue that has kind of gotten you just completely withdrawn, like you... In a way, it's like you don't want to deal with it, and yet it persists. This is either a health issue or it's sadness and grief and feeling like, well, since it didn't work out or since something is damaged, that there goes the rest of it. And it's like, no, that's not true. You just need to be able to talk to somebody about what your options are. This is either talking to someone about your grief because you're going round and round and round. You're not able to make sense of it. So we think the answer is to pull back and to take some time, which it is, but it's also about talking to someone about this so you can make some decisions. So this is either a health issue or this is needing to talk to someone to help you sort out your sadness and grief, because you can only go so far. The Aquarians that I'm reading for, you're only able to go so far by yourself, but you're really going to need to talk to somebody about the last leg of it. What's this Five of Wands about? Good. Knight of Swords, that could be Aquarius. Okay. Gosh, dog it. They keep... Hello. All right, what's this Three of Swords about? The thing is there's something that you're like been kind of harboring silently and privately for a while. It's not going to be what you think it is. The fear of it and finding out what's really going on is greater than actually having the conversation or finding out what something is. This feels health related. What's this Three of Swords about? Two of Cups. Interesting. What's this King of Swords about? That could be Gemini. What's this King of Swords about? Three of Swords. It's not going to be as bad as you think. For some of you, this might be a procedure that you're thinking you actually need this whole blown, like something's gone wrong or awry, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to require all this. It's not. You're going to be, the first step is talking about it. I don't know what's going on, whether this is health or emotional, but you need to talk to somebody about something. And the Aquarians that I'm reading for, you know this is true. That I'm preaching to the choir because you know this already. But the fear of what something is keeping you. So it's like you keep orbiting around this. You know you need to get a handle on something that you've been trying to deal with privately, whether it's grief or whether it's something about your a health issue. Could be a mental health issue. And maybe that's what this is a mental health issue because we're dealing with some grief here. But there's something that you're just not willing to address or confront. It's like the last piece of it that you're really struggling with. And it could very well be impacting your ability to have relationships with other people. Your life is functioning just fine. You are meeting your professional obligations. You know, your job's good, school, whatever, everything's good. You're functioning. But there's this one little piece of your life that is preventing you from connecting authentically with other people. This could be drugs, alcohol, like a private, habit. This could be you dealing with, something affecting you greater than what you're letting everybody else on or in on. So in addressing that with somebody or talking to somebody you trust, that's the key piece. You're not blabbing your business. This is very privately enlisting someone's consult, whether it's a doctor, therapist, somebody that you trust. It's gonna lead to two things. It's not gonna be as bad as you thought, and it's gonna get you over the hump to where you're gonna be able to handle that, and it's gonna let you start connecting with people again. Because you've been it feels like sequestered. Like it's just been all about your obligations to others and your daily living. But there's this void or there's something that's keeping you from connecting with other people. And it could be a mental health issue or this grief that you're dealing with. And you're going to need to talk to somebody about that, somebody you trust. And what that means to you is going to vary. Obviously, it could be a doctor, therapist, close friend, family member, somebody to get the ball rolling on you finally addressing the last dregs of your sadness, grief, fear of a procedure, or hey, look, my mental health just isn't what it should be lately. I think I'm exhausted, or I just can't seem to get over this issue, and I think I finally need to talk about it. That's what we're looking at here. And it could very well be some sadness and heartache over a relationship that hasn't worked out for you, that you're just like, I gave it my best, and it just... Could be talking about mental health. All right, what else for Aquarius? And the thing is, because you don't know what to do about it privately, because this is a very private thing for you, it's like you're orbiting, you're not handling it. So it keeps presenting and you keep backing off going, well, I feel powerless. I don't know what to do, but you need to get vertical on this. You need to get assertive about your own care. And how to manage whatever this is, whatever you're enduring privately. This needs to be addressed. The time has come that for this Mercury retrograde cycle, this is about your getting a handle on this. This is that one area of your life. Everything else is up and running, but there's this one part of your life that you finally need to address, because every time you don't know how to do it on your own. You don't know the extent of it. You think it's a lot worse than it is. And right when you come up to it, and it's going to start, the thing is it might start affecting the balance of things. It might start affecting, there's that certain part of your life where it's going to start to get skewed or like off center. Like you might start to develop some coping mechanisms that are just going to keep everybody forever at bay, right? Or if this is a health issue, it's going to start affecting like the structure of your body. Like say like you sprained your ankle and you need to have your ankle looked at, but you keep putting it off. Your gait's going to be affected, which is going to throw your back off, your knees out, all that, the hips. So if it's not addressed now, And that might be a poor example because I'm not the best at anatomy or physiology. But point being, whatever needs to be addressed now. It is time. Because if you don't, it's going to start affecting balance and everything running smoothly in other areas of your life. So whether this is intense grief, whether this is fear of a procedure you might think you need to have done or some kind of health issue, whatever it is, you need to address it because it's going to start to affect the other areas of your life. And this is a time to do it too. I mean, we're in the retrograde. This is about getting all the cards laid out on the table to figure out what your options are. Enough. It's enough holding you back. No more. What else for Aquarius? Whoopsie. Aquarius. Oh, 10 of Swords. I'm sorry. That very well could be. We got a lot of swords here. Could be some needing to talk to somebody about mental health, a procedure like some surgery that you've been kind of avoiding or ignoring. This feels very private. For everybody looking in on your life or looking at your life, you're fine, but you have been abiding something silently that was pretty traumatic or that you're afraid will be traumatic once it's out in the open or looked at, but it's going to start affecting the rest of your life. It's not going to be nearly as bad as you think it is, but it's been festering or it's just been something you haven't been willing to address. You thought you could, it's not a big deal, not a big deal. But if you're hurting and you're sad, you're in pain, or it's starting to affect your functioning, it needs to be addressed. This needs to be brought to light. It's holding you back from living fully, honestly. And the bonus, it's not going to be what you think it is. This is not going to be unresolvable. This is actually, I think, getting everything out in the open with somebody, especially that you trust. The byproduct of that is having perspective about it. Like, well, it's not as bad as I thought it was, or I thought it was going to be so much worse, or I thought this and that, and it's not. This is about you informing yourself so you can go forward and you can finally heal. But for the thing that kind of bothers me, so it's almost like everybody thinks you've got it all together and you're good, but you've been abiding this quietly and silently, and it's going to start affecting things. And you know what I'm talking about here. For the Aquarians I'm reading for, you know what I'm talking about. So everybody thinks you're fine already. The difference is you feeling fine. You feeling like I got my life back. That's the difference. Because for all intents and purposes, everybody else thinks everything's just fine. You don't feel that way, though. You're putting on a very good show, and you're abiding something privately, and you don't need to anymore. It's not going to be as bad as you think it is. What else for? But I got to tell you, it feels surgery-ish. For if this is a health issue, it could be mental health. I mean, but this could be a surgery issue also. That it'd be much better to address it now. Or this could be intense grief or sadness that you might need some help dealing with. Might need to really talk to somebody that's in the know or somebody that can offer some guidance. What else for Aquarius? It says mourning. Okay. That makes me sad. And it makes me sad because you've been dealing with it by yourself. And that always makes it heavier. And that's not saying that everybody should, spill their business and whatnot. But this is you keeping everybody else at bay and keeping up appearances while you're stumbling and faltering. And there's help, but either you're too afraid or there's this just feeling like, no, I don't want to bother anybody. I want to do it myself. And you don't have to. And it feels like it's something that you're ashamed of also. That's why it's this has to be somebody you trust, because otherwise you're just going to act like everything's fine, and it's like it's not. And it's not as bad as you think it is, but this is affecting you, and you need to address it with somebody that you trust. Somebody that you feel competent to be in charge of your care in that area of your life. What else for Aquarius? What else for Aquarius? Oh. Judgment. 7 of Pentacles. Okay. Yes. Okay. So you need to decide what to do. This is you at the crossroads. You got to address this. Enough. You got come full circle with it. You need. It's like you're on the last leg of it, and you need just that extra little support to get you to see things clearly and to see what your options are for handling this issue. Whether it is a grief and sadness issue, whether it is a mental health issue or a health issue, you have gone as far as you can on your own. You come full circle. You need to explore your options with somebody that you trust, and that this is about restoring balance in your life. Damn it. That got me a little emotional there. It just makes me sad, because you've been doing this by yourself and you didn't have to. And part of it's because you don't want to bother anybody. Okay, let me just shut up here, because I'm going to get emotional. I thank you for stopping by, Aquarius. And please, it's not going to be as bad as you think it is. Please talk to somebody. It's going to restore the balance that you need in your life to get a handle on this and to proceed and get back in charge of your life and start making those executive decisions again. Put you back in the driver's seat of your life. I hope to see you in the next reading. You take care.